Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on this platform.
Thank you for inviting me, Shalvi.
So kindly tell us about your experience in education and training industry. What are the key
Yes.
factors that keep you connected with this industry?
Yes. So it is my 20th year. I joined in 2000. It's been 20 years since I've been in education industry, specifically in the vocational skills sector. So in my past 20 years, I've trained over 10 lakh students and given them jobs across the country. I've also had the privilege of starting international offices in countries like Vietnam, Africa, Nepal, etc. So I've had in-depth experience in handling education center not only in Bombay but Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, plus small towns like Gorakhpur. You have your Kochi and Pune. Pune is not a small town, but like I have had experience, varied experience from different parts of India as well as abroad, and obviously there are huge benefits, and as the future of education lies in skill development. So I think it's a very I've been privileged to be able to reach out to and train and place over 10 lakh students. Yes, so our goal for I run this company called Jetking, and our goal in this company is to give jobs to students. So our whole we generally 90% of our sales happen in 1 year career course. So they're taking the student who is a non-technical person and taking him through this journey of 1 year and making him into an engineer and then giving him jobs. So that whole experience itself is a very transformational experience where a student gets job in good companies like Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, and all these and good companies. Plus, I'm excited that the whole post this COVID, post this lockdown, or whatever you may call it, the whole industry is going towards Industry 4.0 courses. Now, Industry 4.0 courses, just like we are talking right now, there is this cloud happening behind. So obviously, we can see each other, but behind behind infrastructure, there is a network security. There is Amazon cloud happening. There is internet 4G happening. At some places, they started to execute 5G. So there are a lot of back-end things happening which might not be visible to the eye. So what my courses help me do is train students for Industry 4.0 courses. That is one of the reasons I am for the next 5 to 10 years is going to be an amazing journey, at least for Industry 4.0 courses, which are ethical hacking, data sciences, augmented reality, virtual reality, and digital marketing, IoT. So these are courses which are futuristic courses. That's where the majority of the jobs will be available over the next 5 years to 10 years.
So, what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the institute and the students are?
Yeah. So I look at end-to-end life cycle of the student from the time we do digital marketing ads or we do college presentations, we get the leads in, then making sure that my counselors are trained so that they can enroll the students in our course. Plus, we have then this whole 1 year journey where we have to design the module as per the placement industry. So I take care of that whole journey where the student goes from basics to becomes masters of network administrator or gets a diploma in network administrator or focuses on ethical hacking. So making him go through the whole journey, then preparing him for jobs, because ours is the only institute that provides 100% job guarantee. So making sure that all our course, every touch point somehow is helping the student get more employable, so that once he finishes the course, he gets a job from day one and he is employable. He can start working immediately once he start the jobs. That's one of the reasons that Jetking has been existing for the past 30 years, specifically in IT training. So I take care of the whole gambit, looking at the franchises, looking at my employees, training them, and making sure that they're productive, etc.
Being the Vice President International Business, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
Yeah, I think leadership begins with a vision. and seeing where the industry is going. Once you see the vision, getting your team along you in that vision and making sure that either they see it or they are able to envision something similar. Once the whole team is aligned into that vision, then obviously executing that. So leadership goes from vision to in the end execution, right? There was an interesting book I was reading where they say that leadership is only having a vision and leaving the rest to others. But I don't believe that. I believe that after seeing the vision, there's a lot of 90% of the work happens once you think of the vision and then you execute it. So that is my philosophy for leadership.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education and employability in general and for Jetking Infotrain Limited specifically?
Yeah. One of the biggest challenge that we have encountered, which was all of a sudden, is this COVID, is this lockdown, where it was something that we didn't expect. Now people use words like the new normal, that things have changed in terms of how to study. The target audience that Jetking went through was a lower middle class or lower income individual. This individual does not have access, especially 80% of our students come from remote villages. In remote villages, and when this lockdown happened, a lot of them had to shift to their villages. So when the lockdown happened, almost 50% of our students could not get in touch with us or train with us because of the internet, non-availability of infrastructure like the internet, laptop, desktop, etc. So that was one of the biggest challenges that we had to face. Another challenge that we had to face was getting our franchisee and employees motivated now with the new normal about how to take care of your students, how to give them jobs, etc. So plus, I think one of the challenges that we have to keep facing is making sure that our curriculum is as per the latest industry standards, because it keeps changing. IT is an ever-changing kind of philosophy. So we want to make sure that we are running top-notch, latest, fresh Industry 4.0 courses, which will help students get jobs.
So what developments have you noticed in the IT IMS industry, and how do the modules and curriculum at Jetking Infotrain Limited incorporate those changes and ensures the best practice of the industry?
Yes. So with the advent of infrastructure and technology, before we used to require a lot, like few years back, there used to be a lot of desktop support engineers where the students had to go to company to company and service the desktop. But that with the advent of better technologies, that physical dependence on making sure the computer is fine has drastically gone less. So the whole culture or the whole industry is going towards what is called as remote support, where a student is able to give support through remote desktop, sitting maybe in Delhi, Gurgaon, or Bangalore, or Hyderabad, or even maybe Bombay, right? So the skills that students require 5 years back and what they require right now is very different. Before they had to go to the office, be able to talk to the boss and take his understand the complaint and then go from there. But right now he should be able to talk to someone virtually through through audio or through video, take control of the computer and be able to sort out the issues. So that's the changes that we've incorporated. Before it was more physical hardware, but now we've shifted to more cloud, network security, networking kind of module, where 80% of our curriculum is based on cloud infrastructure and network security infrastructure.
So what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know about?
So one of the things, there are a lot of things I would like which not a lot of people know about, but few of the things is we are a 72-year-old company. This company was started by my grandfather, and before we went into manufacturing of radios and televisions. Once there was a flood of radios and television by the Chinese in the 1986, 88 kind of scenario. We had to transition to IT training because there was a huge boom of IT training. So that is one. Second is we hold, Jetking is the single institute that holds Limca Book of Records for the highest number of jobs in the country. At one point in time in Maharashtra, we gave the highest number of jobs. So that is a good achievement. Plus, we have one of the largest Red Hat training partners. So these are a few of the things that are exciting to share with you.
So, how do you look at the placement opportunities offered by your institute, and how do you plan to push the envelope further?
So I'm excited. So if you go to my website, my headline is we've been able to give jobs to over 2,000 students during this lockdown itself. We were able to give jobs to students in companies like Amazon, where even during the lockdown they had essential services pass, and a bus used to come and pick them up and used to drop them. So with this COVID, right, there are more jobs available for courses where Jetking offers IT, networking, ethical hacking, cloud infrastructure, etc. So we are looking to teach advanced modules to our students, which will really help them. So obviously, a lot of these before we had 80% network infrastructure. Now we're going to focus more on the cloud. We're going to focus more on ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is one thing that for the next 5 to 10 years is going to grow really big. And there are millions of jobs that are going to open. Even right now, there are thousands of jobs. Every day we get requirements, but we don't have so many students. So ethical hacking, network security, and cloud are the three main core job openings. Apart from, there's a massive job opening in fields like data sciences, which has a base as Python. So if someone wants to become successful, now there was an article by Abhishek Sanghi which said that the job unemployment rate in India has gone up to 35% or 27%, which is around 35 crore people have become unemployed. Now, if they prepare themselves in these industry 4.0 courses like ethical hacking or cloud or digital marketing or data sciences, if they are preparing themselves, even if they take a year, they will still get beautiful, good jobs in phenomenal companies like Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, and for the next 5 to 10 years, they will grow plenty. So I think if the kids focus on these technologies which are in demand, like blockchain and all these technologies which are in demand, they will surely be very successful. And India is the right place to do that because we already have an advantage as compared to other countries because we speak English and everyone still outsources the IT. The IT exports are still, a lot of it happens through India.
When you started with Jetkings Infotrain Limited, what was your vision for the institute? And has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Yes. So when we started Jetking, our core vision was Sa Vidyaya Vimukte, which means to provide good education that liberates. But around 10 years back, we changed our vision and we said we want to give jobs to 1 million. We want to give jobs to 10 million students in India and overseas in these kind of technologies. Recently, 2 months back, we evolved our vision to even further, where we want to stick with 10 million. We have not reached, and we've reached around 1 million. So we have still 9 million to go. But our focus has been to expand ourselves, not only networking, but in industry 4.0 courses. So our vision is to provide good education that liberates in industry 4.0 courses. And we are on the path. It's everyday work, from morning to night. We are just developing new content, training, enrolling new students, giving them jobs, and it's a repeated cycle over here.
So any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring youth?
Yes. I think the biggest one of those, so obviously we have around 4,000 students who are, who get jobs right now, also studying with us. And I speak to a lot of leads who are 12th pass or graduates and everything. This whole situation has given a lot of fear to a lot of students when they are not certain about their future, because every day they are seeing people cases going up, people dying, and all these different things. So there is a lot of uncertainty and fear amongst the youth. So what I would recommend is, rather than looking at the news and the media, which is generally tend to throw a lot of negative information rather than positive, I'd like to focus. See, we've got this opportunity of staying at home. At this point of time, it is better to learn some new courses, better to learn some skills, learn at home so that you can get prepared for your. If you think you cannot join a Jetking course, but maybe do a Udemy or some kind of course which is very cheap, but learn something, because if you're not learning something, you'll get back into your negativity. So it is better that you learn these skills, understand where the market is going, learn skills. Also, communication is one of the skills that I have seen that if majority of the India being more of an introverted country as compared to other economies like Europe and America, where people are a little more extroverted, talking to strangers, talking to new people is a norm over there. Whereas in India, people stick with their close friends and their close family members, and they are not extroverted as much as we would like to be. So if they and this COVID has just reduced that whole phenomenon itself. If they are able to improve their communication skills, that is a huge plus. So obviously you need technical skills, but what recruiters are looking at is a massive is a massive focus on communication skills, employability skills, which is communication skills, which will really help them get good jobs in the industry. Because there are hundreds of jobs, there are thousands of jobs that are available right now, and people are thinking there are no jobs. But right now, even if you go to Naukri.com or if you go to LinkedIn, there are thousands of jobs you can available, and instantly apply to those jobs and start getting get the life and achieve your dreams, whatever you wanted.
That was a very insightful and a very strong message. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
I'm sure the viewers will learn something really great from your message here.
Yeah. Thank you, Shalvi. Nice talking to you. Thank you for the questions.